ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Couch Coaches with Mac and Ryan. Let's go!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Couch Coaches.
Yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Couch Coaches. I'm Coach Ryan, and joining me is
Coach Mac.
Coach Mac. Have you ever felt like you're sitting on the couch watching a game and think to yourself, I can do better? That's what we're going to be talking about today. The stuff that we think might have been done a little bit better during this college football season and this NFL season, right before we get into the off season. So Mac, I know you messaged me with some frustration over the weekend games. Lay it on me. I want to hear it. I'm excited.
Okay, let's go ahead and start with. Let's start with the Buffalo Bills and fucking Broncos. Let's start with
The
this.
most controversial game of the weekend, you would say?
Exactly. Yeah.
The game that people wouldn't shut up about, and then wouldn't shut up about. Oh, poor Josh Allen. So yeah, no, lay it on me, Mac.
Okay, so look, as a person who played both sides of the fucking ball and played one side of the ball and also coached the other side of the ball, I got a little in having flashbacks of Bert Emanuel in my head. Bert Emanuel, oh God, here we go again. The fact that he caught it's a clear interception, but the fact that so look, Russ, we need to figure out, and we need to tell us what the fuck is the catch? What's a catch? What is a catch? Like, we need to know what is your definition of a catch.
No offense to Cooks, but that wasn't a catch, and I don't know why that was a controversy. That's what was wild to me.
Well, that's true, but it's certain. Like, okay, let's be honest. If that was Pat
Mahomes, coach of the Bills went on a tirade about it.
Yeah, but
the former head coach.
Mahomes, my issue is if that was Pat Mahomes, that would have been a catch to the running back. Just saying. I'm just saying, like, this is what I'm upset about. Like, okay, so obviously this is not a catch. I was like, okay, yeah. Well, also, this is what I have a rant about. So, pass interference, both of them. Now, the last one, I understand. That was straight up pass interference. Even though that was
Bosa laid out Bo on that play too, so they're getting a first down regardless. So
yeah, they were getting it either. Whatever. Yeah.
But the pass interference beforehand was horseshit.
Yeah, it was horseshit. So I was like, let them play, because I'm a guy that's like, let them play, because they're both tangling. So give them the play. But it was going to be a first down anyway. I had an issue with that. But other than that, the Bills choked. I'm just letting you know, Bills fans, you choked. We'll have somebody on this episode who is a Bills fan. I'm going to bring him on the episode to talk about this, let him have his little 2 seconds, but you did choke.
And not only that, Josh Allen choked.
Like, yeah, Josh Allen choked. There was a moment in that game. He had the ball.
I want Josh to succeed. This is the first playoff loss for Josh Allen where it wasn't his fault. Like in the previous years, maybe not against Cincinnati because he didn't play well against the Bengals defense in that home game. But those 2 playoff games, you take those out, all the other Buffalo losses are never on Josh. So It's a weird sensation. And you saw the reaction from like the media types. Dan Orlovsky went insane online trying to defend it. And it's like, I think Bomani Jones said it best. Josh is the one taking accountability. I like that about Josh. Josh knows he screwed up. Why is everyone else wanting to coddle the man? He's a 30-year-old man with a child on the way. He knows he knows. Like that throw to what was it, to Dalton Kincaid, that would have been the game-winning touchdown in all likelihood. You know that one's going to eat at him for the rest of his life because you don't miss that. You're not supposed to miss that. You're Josh Allen. And then that fumble right before half. Oh my God. That was
the head scratcher to me. I was wondering what the fuck is he doing? This is the first
That's one if your middle school quarterback does that, you're benching him for the second half.
I'm benching him right then and there. Like, get your ass on the bench. I'll cuss his ass. Get your
like
ass
if you're
on
not
bench.
Josh Allen, you're getting benched for something stupid like that.
Speaking of somebody who should have been on the bench, I would have benched. Let's go ahead and go to
good
Houston.
segue.
Go to Houston. No offense. I lobbied for CJ Stroud. I said CJ Stroud probably the best quarterback in the draft, but this is a game where you probably would have been better off benching him.
I think with no uncertainty, if you bench CJ Stroud and go with Davis Mills in the second half, you win that football game.
Oh yeah, you win the game
because
you need a game manager.
Because that Texans defense wasn't beat at the end there with that great booty catch. It was the fact they were on the field the whole time, like they were get. So if you have David Mills in there, he's not turning it over. He's not having stupid plays.
Yeah.
Your defense gets some time because the Pats. That's the thing. Josh Allen and CJ were so terrible that nobody will pay attention to the fact Drake May had a terrible game, and he's going to get a pass. And this is where I think this decision might cost DeMeco Ryans his job in 2 years, because if he benches CJ Stroud and plays Davis Mills, he's probably going to a Super Bowl, because I don't think that Denver offense could have handled the Texans.
No, they're not good without Bo Nix. I don't think so. So I think we're in agreement. If you bench CJ Stroud for Davis Mills, at the very least, the Texans are going to their first ever Super Bowl. At least
they're winning.
They're winning. They're at least going to their first AFC championship. Their first AFC championship.
Because I think Davis Mills hands the ball off, or they manage the game. I think he gets them into field goal range enough times where they can beat the Patriots.
Yeah. I'm being honest here. I'm not saying. Now, let me be honest here. I'm not saying that. Now, I'm going to tell Texas fans, I'm not saying you should bench CJ Stroud for the rest of the season. I said bench him for that one game. Let Davis Mills come in there and play. And then if CJ Stroud actually plays a little good, you start him. But at that point in time, after 3 interceptions,
did you see those shots of him on the sideline? You could see it in his eyes. That's where a coach needs to recognize the kid doesn't have it. He's having a bad day.
Yeah.
He's seeing ghosts or something.
Something's going on.
I want CJ to succeed. I do not have a problem with CJ Stroud. As a man, I think he's a great player, really talented. Just something
something was wrong that day. Yeah, something was.
I don't know. Because it's not like that. It's not like that's a great Pats defense. If he was facing the Denver defense and that was happening, I would be like, okay, that's the Broncos defense.
That's the Broncos defense.
Or Seattle. But he was facing a very mid Pats defense. He looked spooked. And I hate that.
Yeah. He didn't. He looked like everything was awful.
So now, since we're on the CJ topic, Mac, I got a question for you. It's either, this is the scenario. You either pick up the 5th-year option now for CJ, or you let him play out this season and see what he does. Do you pick up that option now to lock him in, or do you say we're going to ride and see how you play this next season?
Okay, so here's the thing about this, and this is a good segue. Here's the thing. This is the difference. There's a difference between, and I'm going to bring somebody else in. There's a big difference between, and I want to say this to Panther fans. There's a big difference between Bryce Young and CJ. CJ had 3 years in the playoffs. He got you to playoffs 3 straight years. Got you to the divisional round 3 straight years. No matter how you slice it, he got you there 3 straight years. So, personally,
I think this season you could say that the defense got them to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I don't know if you can give CJ credit for that, but I see your point.
Yeah, but also as added bonus, I look at this as, CJ, I feel like didn't have a sophomore slump. This is his sophomore slump. Because last season, he was even better than what he was the previous season. This is literally his sophomore slump. He had a slump. I actually rolled the dice on the 5th year because, let me be honest here. CJ Stroud goes in there and ball out and he looks good, you're going to have to pay him perennial money up front right now. If you get that 5th-year option, you may not have to pay him.
That's crazy to me. Because there has to be a certain point where it's like, look, you're not going to get paid top 5. You're not top 5. That's something I hate about the quarterback contracts right now.
Exactly.
There's nothing normal about them. I hate that it's whoever's the next quarterback is now the highest paid quarterback. It makes no sense.
Exactly. It's just like what I said with This is what I said with Carolina fans because they keep bringing up that Bryce is the best thing since like I said, look, y'all are wrong. Y'all are stupid. Stop. I just want to put this out here right now. I want to tell Carolina fans out here, y'all need to stop with the cap. Bryce is not that good. Bryce, to me, is a game manager. There is nothing wrong with that. Now, game managing is different from being a franchise quarterback. Now, what I mean by game manager, he managed the game good enough around him to win the game. Now, I will tell Panther fans this. If you put CJ Bryce Young in that situation that CJ Stroud was in, would he have won that game?
I don't know. That's what sucks.
Yeah, I don't know. Would he win? I don't know. But
there should be no doubt. We should trust CJ, and we don't right now.
We don't right now. Yeah, I don't know. Bryce would be in that same situation. I don't know because I seen good in Bryce, but I also seen too much bad. I seen good too. But here's the thing where I see good in him. The good I see in him is what a game manager would do. Top tier game manager. But the bad, when he's bad, he's bad. He's terrible. Because
speaking about bad. How did you feel about the 49ers Seahawks game? Like, did that put the
No, I thought it was gonna be a belt ass whooping when I first saw it. I predicted that.
Does that make you feel fairly confident that we are going to be getting well, I won't say it right now, but
I hope we do.
Do the Seahawks look like a machine?
The Seahawks look incredible. Like they are like pass defense. Like my criteria after looking at football, I've been watching as a Bucks fan. I have seen terrible football teams and I've seen good football teams. And for a team to have it all, you have to have a good defense and you have to be able to slow down the run. And you also have to be able to get turnovers.
Is the Seahawks defense as good as some of the better defenses you and I have grown up watching? Like, would you compare it to, say, that Bucks Super Bowl defense?
Which one
was super? The one from the early 2000s, the one where with
okay. So here's the thing: 2002 Bucks. I will argue this. I'm glad you're talking about this. I say this all the time, and I tell everything, and I think every Bucs fans will agree with me on this. 2002 Bucs defense was not the best defense. The best it goes for me. The Bucs defense is actually the 2020 Bucs defense is better than that 2002 defense. I think the 99 Bucs were better. And here's my reason, and I'll give you my reason. 1999, we held the greatest show on turf. Isaac Bruce, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Kurt Warner, in their prime, to 13 fucking points. So when you hold the greatest show on turf to 13 fucking points, that's the best defense in the world to me.
So would you say?
Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So bringing up all these great defenses, would you say that the Seahawks defense this year is comparable to some of the best ones we've seen? Because I would say that.
It is one of the better defenses I have ever seen.
If they have to finish, that's the big thing. They're on the path.
They gotta finish. Yeah, they gotta finish. They can't.
And can they finish against a heated rival for the rubber match, the Rams Bears? Let me ask you this, Mac: are you trading DJ Moore the first opportunity you get? Because man, I hate that interceptions have to go against the quarterback. Because that was not Caleb Williams' fault. That was the softest route I have ever seen. Oh man, that hurt my soul.
I hate the Rams, and I was pissed. I was like, "Oh, why did you have to do that, DJ Moore? I wanted this to happen. I wanted you to win." So, here's my thing, DJ Moore. Here's my thing. I think DJ Moore is an incredible receiver. I think he's a great receiver. Here's my problem. Here's my issue with trading DJ Moore.
Yeah.
DJ Moore, as all of his accomplishments, I feel like he needs another year because this is his first year in this offense. This is his first year in this offense, so you gotta give him another year. I think that. But If they feel like there's somebody better, say, I don't know, like AJ Brown.
A disgruntled wide receiver in Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Who,
if they
let's
want to
be
swap.
real, if there's no cameras, him and Sirianni are probably getting into a fist fight.
Oh yeah, exactly. Like there's no camera, they're fighting. I think if there was a trade that I literally think would be interesting, I think AJ Brown for DJ Moore straight up would be a great trade.
Well, do you think the Bears would have to include a pick? Like, I think AJ's that much better to where you would have to include DJ Moore and like a second or third rounder to get that.
I think they can
or
get
do you
away
think
with
the relationship so badly the Eagles are like, fine, 1 for 1?
One for
Fuck
one.
it.
I think the Eagles would take that. I mean, look, this is the thing. I feel like the Bears are not mad at DJ Moore, but I think they can upgrade. But
Well, I think they should be a little mad.
they should be a little bit mad, but not mad to the point of like cut them. Like they should be thinking. I feel like as far as for me, if I was the GM, looking at my options. However, I'm not ready to just get rid of him. You know, AJ Brown, on the other hand, if the Eagles come at me and say, hey, straight up trade AJ Brown for DJ Moore, I'll take it. I'll take it.
That's an interesting one. I want Chicago. I like Ben Johnson. I want Chicago to keep succeeding. I am a little worried that this season's going to be hard to replicate. So you need Caleb to make that jump next year. Because what was it, 7 games where they were trailing in the final 2 minutes and they came back and won? They stink of first to worst. And I don't want that. I don't want that.
Here's the thing about the Bears. Here's the thing. I feel like when I see teams, I have a little scenario where I call it the Washington Commanders scenario.
Exactly.
And I feel like the Bears are not in that Washington Commander scenario. I think the teams who are in that, I think one team in that Washington Commander scenario, and the only team I feel like that's in that scenario is the Panthers, because I feel like they kicked the butt they covered. They did play well against the Rams. I give them their flowers. However, I think they just, I want to say
this of the Panthers, it wouldn't really be insane for a team that went 8-9 to go backwards the next year. That's what. God, if I'm Atlanta, since we're on the topic of the NFC South, are you a little worried about Stefanski coming to Atlanta? Because that's a real coach.
Fuck no.
That's a real coach who got hampered by his GM in Cleveland.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about this. So Kevin Stefanski, to me, when he was at the Cleveland Browns. And this is all I keep hearing. 2-time coach of the year, Leo. I want to tell people this, and I want to tell Falcons fans this so they can. And there's real Falcons fans out there that actually hate this shit, but they'll probably agree with me. They say he has 2 play. He is 3-2 in the playoffs. He said, and I literally will say, "Shut up, that's a lie." He actually got 0 wins in the playoffs. If you want to get technical. Because one of those wins, Stefanski had COVID, and they had to put the backup in. Remember that? He put the backup in. So technically, you want to get technical. Baker Mayfield got you that first win, and the second one you lost. So you're literally not a winner in the playoffs. You just got one.
I think it's kind of been leaked that Stefanski did not want Watson, and he was forced to have Watson, and now. Because that Watson deal sunk that roster. It killed the vibe.
Yeah.
And it sacrificed, it's so much money for one guy who is not panned out. It will go down as the worst trade in the history
of it's the worst trade in
pro football.
And I thank the Browns for doing that stupid shit because we got Baker Mayfield. He's rejuvenated.
Yeah. I'm curious. I want to ask you before we talk into our preview for the championships. How are you feeling about the potential of Dan Pitcher coming to town? He's interviewing for your OC job. I'm mad. I like Dan.
Let me be honest. If Mike McDaniel is somehow don't become a head coach or become an offensive coordinator somewhere else, this is plan B for me, and I'm happy with this.
Yeah.
Plan A is Mike McDaniel. I do not want, for the love of God, I do not want Zach Robinson near Tampa. Keep that motherfucker away. I've been screaming at motherfuckers saying, you keep this motherfucker. I literally said, this motherfucker suck. When he went to Atlanta, I said he sucked. I said he's not good. He caused the same fucking. This is what I tell you, and I can literally, if I go, this is what he does. He moves Drake London, and he never lines like Drake London on the outside. He lines Drake London to get a mismatch on their like. And I tell people, Drake London to me is not an X receiver. He is a Z receiver. He's an A2 receiver where he is moved to a certain spot. When you got to move your receiver to a spot and he going against your nickel cornerback, you're not a good wide receiver to me. He's just a slant. He's what we like to call in Tampa Bay a slant boy. He runs slants. He gets open. He catches the slant. He's not a deep ball. Mike Evans is an alpha A1 receiver. He is going. You can put him in the slot. You can put him on the outside. You can put him on the inside. He's going to. You put your number one cornerback on him. He's going to beat your ass every fucking time. You cannot go Mike Evans and say, you will be beaten every fucking time. He is the alpha dog. That's why I love Mike Evans.
So I am hoping that the Bucks make a mistake and don't hire pitcher, because I think pitcher with Baker would be a slam dunk out of this park hire.
I like the hire, but I also hope Mike McDaniels is the.
I've heard rumors that it's the Raiders are might be making a push for McDaniels, and I think that makes sense for McDaniels because there's the potential of Mendoza. You have a guy like a McDaniels, Mendoza, and Alshon, Gentry. That's at least if you can. Because I'm not ready to throw the book out on Mike McDaniels. I think the concussions got to him, and I think he needs to go to. Honestly, from what I've heard and listened to from players around him in practice, Tua still has it. It's just once he gets on the field, it's like he's seeing ghosts. So Tua has some mental things to work out. I think he's got the potential, but for McDaniels, I think that Vegas job could be a real great opportunity. If it's Fernando, I'm fairly certain the Raiders are not going to trade back. I think they're going to take the kid from Indiana, who is the only quarterback in this draft. Like there's not another first round quarterback in this draft. It is a terrible year to need a quarterback.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible need.
Speaking of needs for quarterback, who do we like in the Patriots-Broncos game? Because this to me is a toss-up. If it was the Texans, I would believe in the Texans because Bo is no longer there. I don't know how. I think the X factor to me is Drake May. I don't know how he handles that Denver defense because that Texans defense made him look terrible. So, Mac, what do you think is going to happen when the Broncos and Pats play in Denver?
Can I say me? I'm gonna put this out here. I want neither of these teams to win. I wanted Buffalo to be in here because I really wanted to see a team that. Because let's be honest, Patriots don't need to win another Super Bowl. They are a literal. They are a. I would like to say a fan base that is spoiled as fuck. Denver.
They had the greatest 20-year run of any franchise in any sport, especially in the modern era. So no, you're 100% right. They're spoiled. They do not need to already be going back to a Super Bowl. I wanted to be an old man before the Patriots return to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. I want to be like 50 years old. Oh, Patriots won a Super Bowl. Thank God. Okay, we can finally feel good about this. But Patriots, I don't want to win, and I certainly don't want to hear Denver going in because if Denver goes in there, even though if they win, go to the Super Bowl, if they win it, all I'm going to hear about is, hey, remember John Elway? John Elway was the best quarterback. Oh, y'all just suck it. I was like, damn, John Elway is not playing. That old man has not played since 2000. Leave that man alone. Can't stand John Elway.
I think for the sake of the Super Bowl, I would want the Patriots to win because I just don't think Jared Stidham or whatever, I don't think he would be able to handle either defense from Seattle or the Rams.
Here's
yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt you.
Well, no, just if I want a competitive Super Bowl, I think Drake May is the answer. If I want a Super Bowl where the Patriots don't have a shot at another one, then I'm rooting for the Broncos. I do think in the end, Drake May will do enough against the Denver defense to get the win. and that's going to suck for me because I'm like you. I hate that they're already succeeding again. But Max, share your thoughts, brother.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, so all right. I want to say from what I've been seeing with the Broncos, I think the Broncos are on scoring defense. They are a scoring defense. So they are top 10 in scoring defense. They are, excuse me, they're top 10 in scoring defense, and they are hard to throw against. And the area where the Broncos is really, really tough in is run defense. What do the Patriots like to do? They like to run the ball. McDaniels loves to run that damn ball. I think this is an interesting game. I think I do believe that all you need with Denver is just a game manager. And I feel like Jarrett Stidham can game manage just enough to win the game. Also, going to Denver is going to be a tough ask for the Patriots.
I saw somebody like tried to share like a Patriots hype image, and it was like Drake May heading to Denver, and it's like a clip of Tom Brady, and it's like, y'all know Tom Brady was 0-3 at Mile High.
Mile High, yeah, he's 0-3. He's 0-3.
He never won at Mile High. Winning at Mile High is difficult.
No. Actually, he did win one at Mile High. He did win one. He won one with the Bucks. Where we torched that motherfucking ass.
That's right. But
I love that game.
Patriots Tom Brady never succeeded at Mile High. So all right. So your official prediction is the Broncos will win, right?
The Broncos. I feel like the Broncos are going to win in it's going to be a low scoring game. I feel like it's going to be
9-6. 9-6.
No. I'm gonna go 17-10. I think they score a touchdown. And I think they choked them out. And I believe Drake, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to say this right here. I'm going to go bold. I think Drake May goes. I think the Patriots as a whole entire offense, 5 turnovers.
Man, that's crazy. That's a crazy prediction. I'm going to say the Patriots pull it off. I'll go low scoring. I'll say that it'll be 14-10, something like that. Like maybe the Broncos score a touchdown off of a turnover, but I think Drake May, unfortunately, will get it done, and the Patriots will be returning to the Super Bowl. Now, who they face is going to be really interesting. Mac, I'm curious if you are as confident as I am, and my friends who I talk to about football a lot are so confused why I'm so confident. I think the Seahawks smash the Rams.
I think this is
and that is because I think the Rams of the last month or so have played weird football. And I think you can't ignore how badly they played against the Panthers. And that was a game they should have lost against the Bears. I wish Ben Johnson would have channeled his Dan Campbell and went for 2 at the end there instead of kicking the extra point. Go for the win in your home stadium. So I just think the Bucs are on a roll. Said Sam Darnold is worse than they've let on. I think the Seahawks are going to continue their dominance. How do you feel about this game?
Okay, I agree with you because here's my thing, and this is where we go back to the Panthers game because here's my issue with the Panther thing because Panther fans are smelling themselves so hard on Twitter that they're on my feed and they're just annoying me. I finally want to say this right now, and I finally got a voice to say this. Panther fans, you should have got belt the ass. You should have got a belt the ass in Charlotte. They should have whooped your ass up and down the field. But, however, and I don't want to hear about this bullshit call that should have won you the game. All that game was everything went your way in the fourth quarter, in the second half. Everything went your way in the second half. I don't know what the fuck LA was doing in that second half. They imploded. They should have belt you in that first half. But I don't know what happened in that fourth quarter in that last series. That was the Rams team that I felt like that was going to belt you. So I'm just peeping the buck. They should have belted you, but they didn't because they literally just said, "Hey, the Rams do what I like to call play with their food, and they played with their food enough where they choked on it." And that's exactly what they did. And then once they got in that fourth quarter in that last drive, they finally swallowed their food, and literally just took care of business. I agree with you. The Bears should have won that game. If it wasn't for DJ Moore running the wrong fucking route, you would have lost that game by a field goal.
Yep. And
Seattle. Sorry, go ahead.
No, everything you're saying, and then like the only reason I think the Rams have a chance is if this oblique injury is worse than they've let on, and that Sam Darnold, because it like in a scenario where Sam Darnold needs to step up, I do not know if he can. So that's where I'm a little like maybe I'm wrong about the Seahawks team, but just they look great on every phase, special teams, defense, offense. They look good. They've got arguably, well, no, not he is a top 5 receiver in Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah, he is top 5, 100%.
Everything about this Seahawks team looks disgustingly good.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things where it's like, and also history is on my side. Every time the Seahawks have been the 1 seed, they've made the Super Bowl. So it's kind of one of those things. I just don't know if the Rams can go into Seattle and win. I really don't. Like I just think it won't be enough.
I think.
Let's not forget Sam Darnold's hand or Stafford's hand. Stafford's fucked up hand.
I don't care about that fucking hand. That hand wasn't hurt. His ego was hurt. Fuck that shit. I love Sam. I love. Let me be honest. We're talking about Stafford. I love Stafford. He did things for my college team. I appreciate him. But unlike anybody, unlike all the Bulldog fans, once you cross into the NFL, your fandom crosses that. Once you get in the NFL, fandom's gone. I don't give a fuck about you. Fuck you. That's the way I feel. You're an op now. Unless you're Tyke Smith and you play with the Bucks. You're cool with me. But you're an op after you get in the NFL unless you play with my team. That's why I feel about Stafford. But that hand has nothing to do with it. Once he said, the hurt hand, no. What happened
so you think they're overblowing the hand injury?
I think they're overblowing the hand. I think I'm gonna be honest, I think he's getting old. He's getting old. He's showing his old age a little bit. He ain't playing this game for long. And I'll be honest here. I'm telling you something, Rams fan. I'll be honest with you here. If y'all don't make the Super Bowl, or I think if you do make the Super Bowl and you find if you find some miracle make it to the Super Bowl and you win it, Stafford's going to retire. Just going to be honest. I think.
100%, because that locks him into the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Like getting that second ring. The only reason, in my opinion, Stafford has continued to play is he can play at a high level. Like he was MVP most of the year, in my opinion. He wants that second ring because then he's for sure in the Super Bowl. Whereas right now, there is such a clog at quarterback and wide receiver to get into the Hall of Fame. You need those guaranteed, and the best guarantee, what will get you into the Hall of Fame is 2 rings.
Super Bowl ring.
Super Bowl rings get you a lock into the Hall of Fame. Eli doesn't belong. He's going to get in there eventually because of those 2 Super Bowls. So that's what Matthew Stafford is after. Because really, I'll make the argument Stafford with 1 Super Bowl, it should be in the Hall of Fame.
He should be in the Hall.
But there's a log jam, man. Like what is it not? I think after baseball, heck, I'd even argue the NFL Hall of Fame is tougher than the Baseball Hall of Fame.
You're right. Here's the thing about the NFL Hall of Fame. I can name several people that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, but they will not. Like, for example, I'll go to my Bucks. I feel like Levante David should be in the Hall of Fame, but they're not going to put him in there because he didn't make.
And this is going to hurt my soul to say it. I don't think Ken Anderson ever gets into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Ken Anderson,
which is a travesty.
Which is
a travesty.
Yeah.
He was great in 2 different eras. That's the thing people forget about with Ken Anderson. He was in the league for 20 years, and he was great in 2 different time periods. Like the NFL, when he came into the league and when he left, were totally different games. And he was playing at a great level. But because this is just my opinion, and I think you as a Bucks fan would agree, if depending on who you played for, there's an internal bias from the voters.
Yeah,
I think the Bucks and the Bengals. I think the Bucks and the Bengals fall into that category of if you spent your career with that team, you're not going to get a lot of.
You're not going to get a jacket,
even if you're like another good one. I think he'll get in though. I think Willie Anderson's going to get in at some point because he was the best right tackle for almost a decade. But the fact that he's not in now is purely because he played for the Bengals.
Right.
So,
Just like, for example,
but I think it's, yeah, go ahead.
Just like, for example, like I can already, my nephew will argue this with me all the time. I literally said before Mike Evans got that last cat for that last 1,000-yard season, I said Mike Evans is a lot for the Hall of Fame. He'll be in the Hall of Fame 100%. He was in the Hall of Fame before he tied Terry. He is going to be in the Hall of Fame, even if he don't make this. So
I think what sucks for Mike is I think it's that log jam at those two positions, quarterback and wide receiver. There are so many guys.
However,
luckily for Mike getting that Super Bowl and that record, he'll get in there.
I
just think you're going to be upset because I think it's going to take. He won't be a first. He won't. I think it might take like 5 seasons.
I think if it depends on the people that's in there. I believe if there is like no crazy people that retire when Mike retires, I believe Mike will get in. I think Mike will get in because he has so many. Look at the quarterbacks he's going to have.
Does he have another year in him, Mac? Is he going to retire soon?
I think he does got one more year in him. I think he's pissed about this season. He's one more. I think he
one more. All right.
I think one more, baby. If we get Mike McDaniel or Pitcher, he might be like, you know what? Fuck it. I got one in me left. I got one more left in me. I think everything has to line right for him. I think my honest opinion. If Mike, let's say Mike comes back. Let's say by some crazy coincidence, the Bucs make the playoffs. Let's say they button down and make the playoffs, they make a Super Bowl run, and they go to the Super Bowl. Let's say, hell, they win a 3rd Super Bowl. Mike's in the Hall. Not only Mike's is in the Hall, and if Levante comes back, Levante's
yeah, Mac, you're giving him a scenario where they win a Super Bowl next year. Of course he's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah, he's in the Hall 100%. Baker might get, you might have to argue Baker might get in the Hall of Fame if he wins.
All right, but so our unanimous lock, we both think the Seahawks beat the Rams.
Oh yeah. Seahawks are dragging them like that's a drag. Like I don't even think it's going to be unwatchable. I'm so glad that the AFC game is before the NFC game because that night is just going to be boring.
Yeah. So now let's make our pivot. You've got an award that you want to give out. Matt, would you like to introduce this award and introduce the first ever winner of the Mike Bobo Award, sir?
All right, so guys, the Mike Bobo Award. Now, you wonder what the Mike Bobo Award is? Mike Bobo is the offensive coordinator for my beloved Georgia Bulldogs. This award goes to a coach who has all the talent on this roster, but is terrible somehow and wins because of said talent. So the person that I really want to give this award to is Nick Sirianni. Okay, so let me get this straight. You have one of the best running backs in the NFL, and one of the best running backs, one of the best liners in the NFL, great wide receiver duel, and you find some way to not dominate. You ran it back, and you looked decent down the stretch, but like Mac Bobo, the talent was there, and you lost the Philly dynasty. Just like that. Congratulations to Nick Sirianni for winning the Mike Bobo Award. And as I say at the end, every day, Mike Bobo, thank you for pissing on and pissing off dog fans. And wherever you are, fuck you. I'm done.
Man, that sounded personal, Mac. But I think Sirianni and the Eagles are a match made in heaven. I weirdly think that like he should be the Eagles coach until he dies. He is. Dude, but he encapsulates Philadelphia sports energy in a way that is special.
But still, it's the Bobo Award. It doesn't matter. He fucked up this year. Now, could he get up? Now, that's just for this year. Now, the Mike Bobo Award doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that he's going to be.
No, I'm not even saying he sucks. I just think Nick Sirianni is perfect for Philadelphia. He'll have ups and downs his whole career. The dude won a Super Bowl, so I'm not going to talk shit. He won a Super Bowl. Like,
I mean, you can't talk shit, but I can. My team hit their ass out of the playoffs twice. So Philly fans come for me. Don't give no fucks. I want the smokes. We kicked your ass out of the playoffs. Not once, but twice. Come at me. Also remember, bets. Your bet stadium. We blew your stadium out as we went to the Super Bowl and won it. Fuck you.
Oh, that's great. All right. So speaking of Mike Bobo in college, let's make our pivot. This is kind of like a farewell to the college football season of 2025, because as we're recording, the game is going on. The national title is about to kick off against the Miami Hurricane and the Indiana Hoosiers. So Mac, I kind of want to ask. So let's say it now, and we'll either look smart or dumb. Who's winning tonight?
Indiana.
While we're recording. Who?
Indiana's going to win. If
You
Indiana
think so?
loses, you want to tell you?
I want to hear it. Let's hear it.
Okay, Indiana. Let me explain to you why Indiana is going to win and why Indiana is going to dominate. In my course of watching college football, there has been several teams. There has been one team that I looked at and I just had that figured that they are just. There's that one college team that just was saying, that is him. I've seen this once before, and that was Joe fucking Burrow and the LSU Tigers. When that came into the Georgia Dome for the SEC championship and literally put belt the ass to my beloved Bulldogs, I literally looked at him. I had nothing to say. I was like, I got nothing to say. He's him. He's him. I couldn't even be upset. I was like, I'm not even upset. This boy is good. That's the way I feel about Freddie Mendoza and the Indiana Hosters. I feel like they are a team that is just constantly just overarching whatever they're doing. Like whatever you game plan for them, they're going to do something different. And it's like, oh, well, okay, we're going to take away. Okay, you're not going to throw deep on us. So we're just going to make sure we're going to put our safeties back. Okay, cool. I'm going to literally get my wide receivers to throw a back shoulder fade. And my quarterback can throw those back shoulder fades. Good. So we're just going to do this. And they just do it. Like, you can look at the play. I looked at that Oregon game. Oregon defense played it perfect. They played perfect defense. Like, I have not seen perfect defense more than what I've seen what Oregon did. They could not stop them. They were a machine. They were on a mission to prove that y'all fucked up. You shouldn't have let us in these playoffs, and we're going to make sure that you're going to remember us. Like, they're not on a mission just to win a national championship. They're literally on a mission to literally show that they are historic. And I feel
they're
like
on a mission to take the punching bag of the pack of the Big Ten, and arguably, Mac, what would be the SEC equivalent of what Indiana's doing? What SEC program, if in 2 years was playing for a national title, you would be wondering to yourself, how in the hell did this happen?
So,
would that be in Arkansas, maybe?
You talking about?
Or, no. Who is the bottom dweller? I just realized it'd be Kentucky.
No, it wouldn't be Kentucky. It would be the South Carolina Gamecocks. Kentucky can be.
Steve Spurrier has some words for you about that, but you might be onto something.
That would be the Gamecocks. The Gamecocks are the team that's always our punching bag. That should be the. Well, actually, you're wrong. I take that back. It's not South Carolina. It was before.
The lowest of the low, the worst program in SEC history.
That would be Vanderbilt.
Yeah. So.
Vandy.
Yeah. So guys, next season Vanderbilt's going to win a national title because they had their good year this year. Okay, so I think I'm going to be the opposite, Mac. I kind of like Miami because I think Miami has been battle tested all year, and I think they've had I think the fact that they've played tougher games and tougher opponents these last 3 weeks has got them like ready. They went into Texas A&M and won, which is not an easy thing to do. That place is a cult. They went to the Cotton Bowl and slayed the dragon that was Ohio State. And then they beat Ole Miss off the backs of a fantastic front four. That Miami front four on their defense is some of the best I've seen since Alabama was dominating the country. Like, that is such a good defense. Now, the big variable, and you know this player very well, I think what's going to determine if Miami wins tonight is if Carson Beck can prevent himself from fucking the ball. Like,
okay,
truly,
that's the issue.
And
And
that was
that's
our
where
issue.
you, as a Bulldog fan, do not believe he won't fuck up. You believe he's going to have a moment tonight that he's going to regret. Correct?
Yeah, he's gonna regret.
He's going to throw a pick six, or he's
Yep.
going to fumble it, or something.
Does
You say bad Carson Beck comes out tonight.
Yeah, that's what I say is gonna happen because he did it. Like here's my issue. So,
Yeah.
and I remember this. I don't forget this, Carson Beck, because you did this. We had Alabama. We had Nick Saban. He was going to retire. We were undefeated. We did not lose a fucking game that year. We go to the SEC title. We have Brock Bowers. We have an incredible running game. Everything we need to run that shit. Our defense was so dominant. We had everything we needed to run it back. But the reason we lost that game, and people say the defense is the reason. No, the reason we lost that game was one, Mike Bobo, and two, Carson Beck. Carson Beck wanted to play turtle and start throwing ducks wanted to throw directly to the cornerback, and then all of a sudden Miro started having a game against us and we were pissed. Like that game right there, I felt like, in my honest opinion, if we would have gotten to that, if we probably would have gotten that championship game, I think they would have put us against Michigan, correct? We would have played Michigan, right?
I believe so. Yes, sir.
I think we would have drubbed Michigan. I think Michigan didn't want to play us. I think Michigan literally knew if Michigan played us, I think we would have beat them again. Because I think we are Michigan's Achilles heel. They have not beaten us. I remember that year when they were screaming, Michigan's great, and then we went up in there and just beat the shit out of them in the playoffs. Like that was a nothing burger. Like Kirby Smart knows how to beat Michigan. He knows it. He knows how to beat.
All right. So the big difference between me and you is I believe Carson Beck won't fuck up, and you think he will fuck up tonight.
I think he will fuck up. He's going to fuck up.
Because I will say, this is a game where I think Miami cannot have a single turnover. I think one turnover will cost them the game.
He cannot,
because I think Indiana will come in, play incredible. I think it's going to be a great game. I don't want to dismiss Indiana because of the uniform on their jersey, because I think they're a really good football team. Obviously, Kirk Cincinnati is the best coach in college football right now, and it's not it. It's Kirk. There's Kirk, and then a significant gap to the second guy. Yeah. So I think I just trust that Miami front four, like on the defensive line, and think it's so good. I really like Malachi Toney, who's 17, playing amazing football at the highest level. Like, if this kid if he continues this path, he's going to be an all-time great college football player, and he's going to be a first-round top 5 pick. Here's the challenge is that the Carson Beck of it all.
Yeah, the Carson Beck. Here's my another thing about Indiana. I had to do my research, and when it comes to sports and football, especially particularly football, I do my research on stuff. Do you not know that Indiana? I felt like Indiana could have possibly derailed y'all national championship last year, because Indiana got into the playoffs, and guess who they had to play? They had to play a fresh Notre Dame who was not injured. They didn't play no championship game. Like they didn't have Fernando Mendoza, but the quarterback they had was good. But they had to play a fresh Notre Dame team, and that Notre Dame team was fresh, and they beat them. But they didn't beat them badly. They just beat them. But that was the difference. They played a fresh Notre Dame. This year, they were the fresh team, and you see what happens when they're fresh. When they're fresh and they're healthy.
Well, I think they also got a fraudulent Alabama team that didn't belong in the playoffs.
Oh, yeah, they didn't belong in there.
This was the most frustrating. If you're not an SEC fan, this was a frustrating year because Oklahoma and Alabama were forced into the playoff. And I don't think either of them belonged. I think I would have put in Notre Dame, and I don't know I think the debate should have been between Notre Dame, or I think the debate should have been between Oklahoma and Alabama, not Notre Dame and Miami, because I think the SEC got inflated this year by a lot of bad SEC teams getting ranked. So Oklahoma's good. They beat insert Missouri or insert some team that went, or what was it? Tennessee didn't beat a single team with a winning record this year.
Yeah. Here's
Like-
my issue. Here's my issue
Yeah.
with Alabama. I
Yeah.
said it before, and I said it again. I think I messaged you this. Alabama only loss was to us. Well, their only loss was to Oklahoma and us. But on the other hand, Alabama, I felt like before that SEC championship began, I legit said, if Alabama don't keep this game close, they should not be in the playoffs.
Nope.
We put a belt whooping on Alabama.
You did.
I don't give a fuck. I'm my team is in the SEC. I don't give a fuck about this. I legit said Alabama should not be in the playoffs. They should not be rewarded. They should not been in there. They should be kicked out. In fact, I felt like, in all honesty, and I'm gonna say this right now, felt like the playoff committee fucked us. They legit put us against Ole Miss. They put Ole Miss against Tulane. Everybody knew Tulane was not going to win that game. That was legit a practice game. The real game was Alabama, Georgia. Not Alabama, Ole Miss and Georgia. And I was scared to play at Ole Miss again because I knew the outcome. I knew Ole Miss is going to play us. They're going to beat us. It's going to be some bullshit. And that's added bonus. What made me mad was we didn't know where the game was going to be played at. So I knew the playoff committee fucked us because, one, they put us in the Sugar Bowl. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold up, time out. So not only are you making us play this damn team for a second time, you're making us play this damn team in their home state? They fucked us.
Wait. What are you mean the Sugar Bowl is your advantage, Mac? What are you talking about?
That's in Louisiana. We're nowhere. We could go to Louisiana.
Oh, what? Wait, I got that. I'm sorry. I got it confused with a different bowl. No, you're right.
Yeah, the Peach Bowl. If we wanted the advantage, we should have got the Peach Bowl. Like, I felt like the Peach Bowl would have been a more.
Well, I think they need to just redo it to where I think you have home games until the semifinals.
That's why I feel like we should not.
I'll give Dan Lanning credit. He's 100% right when he says the system feels weird that, like, if you're one of the best 4 teams in the country, you don't play a home game in the playoff. That's bizarre. Yeah. Especially the atmospheres that we've seen now for 2 years. Home playoffs are where it's at. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
This is great. Now, all right, we're still on this topic. I think we're in agreement. The best playoff game was the Hurricanes and the Ole Miss, right? The most fun.
Yeah, the most fun.
Like the game that I didn't have a rooting interest. You didn't have a rooting interest.
Well, actually, I was hoping
you probably were rooting for Miami out of anger.
Yeah, I was. Me too. Like, I was like, Miami, win this game because I really don't want Ole Miss to win.
Yeah,
I don't want.
Part of me wanted Ole Miss as a fuck you to Lane Kiffin for what he did, because man, dude, if Lane Kiffin stays, that they might be playing for a national title right now.
They might, but here's my thing.
Which is,
Ole Miss fans are just about the same as Alabama because them motherfuckers went to go. Like, have you not heard any of the other?
Oh no, that's why I was only partially rooting for Ole Miss. There's a reason. Their fan base, their insistence on being called Ole Miss instead of the University of Mississippi is a good indicator of what's wrong with them.
They are assholes.
Yeah. So I wanted to ponder something with everybody here, because this has been on my mind. We're going to call this segment Ryan's Rants, because there's something affecting college football that I think needs to be discussed. And I think it was really the worst of the conversation was right when the playoff field was announced, because a lot of people who say they love the sport were wanting to destroy the sport, in my opinion, over Tulane and JMU getting in, which is, it is not the expanded field that is ruining college football. It is not the guys getting paid ruining college football. Realignment is every gripe that we have with college football. Realignment is the problem with it, because what you have happening is Texas A&M played no one outside of the bottom half of the SEC until Texas, and they lost. So an inflated ego of Texas A&M You get an Ohio State, you can make an argument Ohio State had an inflated ego because their only team that they played until Indiana was Texas. So you have Ohio State in the Big Ten. You have Texas A&M in the SEC. You have Indiana last year coasted off of an easy schedule. These conferences are too big. And in a sport where you have a selection committee deciding the playoffs, you cannot have conferences of 18 teams and it works. It just doesn't work right, and it's creating weirdness. I technically live in Big Ten country. Do you know how absurd that is? I left Big Ten country. And then it came back to me. I moved out. And then it followed me. College football should, if it's going to become a semi-professional league, if it is going to become the NFL light, because football is the biggest sport in this country, and the semi-pro league is the second biggest sport, copy the NFL playbook a little bit and create the divisional rivalry again. Because God in heaven, do you want to know what's great about the NFL? Is how much you hate the other teams in the NFC South, how much I hate the other teams in the AFC North. College football needs to get back to that. Regional rivalry is where it's at, man.
Oh yeah.
The ability to drive in a single day is where it's at when it comes to your team. When I was still living in Ohio, if I wanted to go see Ohio State play at Michigan, regardless of the cost, it would take me a day to get there, which is great. Perfect. If I wanted to watch the if I'm an Oregon Ducks fan and I want to see the Ohio State Buckeyes, that is a 3-day trip. Minimum. That's if you're booking it the whole time. And then you get into the cost of travel. So like flying, hotels, it screws. Number one, it screws the fan. Which I know these people at the top don't care. They don't care about the fan experience, but it's hurting the product. I think college football has been saved by the expanded playoff because it's been great games. Whereas if it was just realignment with the BCS crap or the 4-team playoff, this would be a rough sport, man.
Oh yeah.
Think of it like this: the national title would be if we didn't have the 12-team playoff. It's Indiana, Ohio State, Texas A&M, and Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Do you know how crazy that is? Like Texas A&M probably was inflated. No, I'm going to make the statement: Texas A&M was not that good this year, and it was inflated by the fact they played the worst of the SEC.
They did,
and it's not their fault. They have it. It's an 8. What is it? 16 teams in the SEC.
16 teams. Yeah, 16 teams.
Yeah. So you're just if you're gonna be this big, you have to have divisions. If you're not gonna do divisions, then you have to make smaller conferences. And now the SEC and Big Ten are fighting over the expansion. I think the SEC wants to go to 16. The Big Ten the SEC wants 24, and the Big Ten wants 16. And I'm just like, what are we doing?
Well,
like, why can't 12 be enough?
Yeah. If we're going
24,
24, if we're going to 24, then we just need to, if we go to 24, then I'll be honest here. And I'll just be honest here. Just get rid of all conferences and just do regionals. Set it up just like
to me, my dream scenario, and there's been a couple YouTubers that I've watched, they've rebuilt, this is what I would do if I was the commissioner of college football, and they just let's bring back the Pac-10 as a normal conference. Let's bring back the Big 8, the Southwest. Let's have this is my idea. I think it should be 16-team playoff, and I think we should have smaller conferences again, and it's just the auto bid to the conference champion.
Exactly.
And then there's a couple, and then just have a couple have a couple at-large bids, because I don't think there would be 16 conferences. So you have a couple teams that could, and you force Notre Dame to join a fucking conference.
Exactly. That's what I'm about to say. We need Notre Dame to join. If we go that route, Notre Dame need to join a fucking conference. That shit.
And this bullshit that Notre Dame has worked in a deal now where they get an auto bid if they're ranked in the top 12 is ludicrous.
Pisses me the fuck off. I when they didn't get in, there was a part of me that was like, I agree with Notre Dame, but get in a fucking conference. That's my thing. You should get in a conference if you want. All the other teams busted their ass to get into this in this scenario.
Mac, let's say you're a Georgia Bulldog fan. How long of a trip would it be for you to go see them play at Texas A&M? 2-day drive at least,
Oh, we're talking about
or
driving a
more?
flight. A flight don't take that long, but a drive.
Okay, but all right, then you're dropping money on the flight. That's where it's like I just I'm looking at it from a fan perspective, and
Oh
then
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
looking at it also from the health of the game.
yeah. Because
What
we went
made college football special was the regional rivalry.
with the regional
And
rivals.
you are potentially you are killing it, and you
Oh,
are hurting the sport. And
yeah,
you're not going to see it right now, because right now I think the playoff is like the band-aid that people don't realize. And I think in 5-10 years, you're going to see that downturn.
right.
Like,
The furthest that
yeah,
we would have to travel in the for SEC wise would be Texas and Texas A&M.
yeah,
That's the furthest, and Oklahoma.
yeah.
But not even Oklahoma, because Oklahoma's not that far. It's like going to Alabama a little bit, just a little bit further to go to Alabama. But I would say those three are probably the hardest. But everybody else is within the region. So, and I think with us, I think the problem we don't have, the reason I feel like, and I'm just being honest, I agree with you. If we're gonna do 24, we should just get rid of, we should go back to smaller stuff. But the reason I don't have an issue with it is, well, they haven't took away they haven't taken away our daily belt the ass whooping of what we do to Florida. So because we gotta whoop their ass, because we gotta keep the motherfuckers humble. And we get to play Georgia Tech and whoop their ass every year. So we get our rivals.
Just get ready, man, because these done. You're getting Clemson, and you're getting probably Florida State. It'll probably be those two that join the SEC.
Yeah, and we'll whoop their ass.
And it's just unnecessary. I just really
live here.
really
I live in
don't like where college football is going with this realignment stuff. I think it's damaging to the sport.
Mm-hmm.
I think the other extreme, just separate the football from the football team becomes sponsored by the school, and we take away the veneer of the student athlete.
Here's what I said a long time ago before this shit got started. And people have literally came at me and said it's not fair to the players. Here's what I've been saying this for years. And I said this before they did the whole situation with the money. I felt like college football needs to get a cap on this shit, or else it's going to get.
Oh, they need contracts.
They need contracts. And
I think it's damage. Here's the thing. I'm looking at it from a player perspective. I think this hurts the player.
Yeah, it does.
Only the quarterbacks and the receivers and maybe some running backs are going to get like the fat checks.
Yeah.
And then you're going to get guys who I'm going to enter the portal and then nobody takes them. And then it's like, hey, college team, I just said I was going to leave, but can I stay?
Yeah,
like it's bad for the players. It's bad to be a coach right now.
Yeah.
Because I think Kirk was talking about, it's like, I'm trying to prepare for the national title, but also but he's done well in the portal. But like the calendar, all football that needs to get fixed. The fact that it's Martin Luther King Day and we're playing a national title is insane.
Yeah. This is what Scott said to me. He said, I don't think that's a good idea. Here's my reasoning. I said this. I said, my reasoning that they need to find contracts, because here's the issue. So I can promise you that I'm going to pay a quarterback this amount of money. And if that said player gets injured and the other quarterback does well, I don't got to pay you jack straw. I don't got to pay you shit, because we didn't sign.
There's been reports of players not getting they'd sign their NIL deal and then they don't get paid for whatever because we don't have the money. And it's like, no, you said you were going to pay them. So
yeah,
like
we didn't have a contract. We don't have a contract, so
it's the Wild West, man, and it's
bad
for the player and it's bad for the sport. I think it's really detrimental. In the short term, the numbers are great. Obviously, like they're doing banger numbers. It's if you look at the chart of like the most viewing numbers in the United States, and it's the top 100. It's like NFL, college football, and like some random stuff. Mm-hmm. It is. So right now it's good, but man, I think in the long term it's going to hurt the sport. I think old guys like me and you kind of root for the team more than the player, and it's hard to be a fan and not know who these cats are.
Yeah,
And
it
it's like,
is.
oh, it's gonna be week 1, and it's like, who's my starting safety? Oh, he's a guy who played at flipping Iowa.
He played at
I don't know who he
the
is.
University of California. Yeah, he did
Yeah,
well at the
like,
University of California.
it's
I was like, what the fuck? I don't know.
yeah, and I think and we'll tie back this to the NFL. I think it's directly hurting the development of quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I think
like
because you need to be in a system for multiple years to, because really the reason the NFL lets the college game slide is because it's the developmental league for them, and
Right.
now it's not, because
that's
you're
why.
getting guys coming into the league not knowing what, like the best example ever is Anthony Richardson. Like
Yeah.
that is a cat who
I
didn't
called
get
that
to
out.
develop, and
Called
now
that
he's a.
out.
I hope his eye's okay. Number one, I don't. People were like talking shit, like, "Oh, how bad is he that he they went and got Rivers?" It's like, no, he had an orbital fracture. If you've ever worked out with those rubber bands, those things snap. So I firmly believe that whatever happened to him was serious. So I hope he's
Oh, yeah.
okay. I don't
I
want
hope
to.
he's
I don't wish
okay.
any ill will.
I don't wish any ill will towards Anthony Richardson, but I saw Anthony Richardson a bust before he even stepped on the field.
He had less snaps than a high school quarterback.
He's
Like,
not. He was not good. When I saw him play at Florida, I legit looked at him and I said, "This kid is no good. He is.
He just reeks. He reeks of Jamarcus Russell again.
He's a placeholder.
Yeah.
He catches the ball, holds the ball, and literally takes the kick. That's what he does. I told my nephew he's nothing but a placeholder. He holds the ball and holds the ball for the kick. That's what he does. Yeah. He does that.
All right. So my Ryan's rant is realignment sucks. Whatever anger you have towards college football, it should be about realignment, not about JMU getting in, not about Tulane getting in. You should be mad at the conferences getting too big, and like, because if you're think of it like this: if you're a fan of a small school, just wait; they'll toss you aside too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
If Saudi Arabia came to the United States, to the college football world, and said, we have $20 billion, we want to create a super league where every week it's a brand against a brand. Ohio State, Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, USC, Notre Dame would take the money and say, fuck y'all to the rest of you. Oh, Texas too. Those seven schools,
100%. Oh yeah, 100%.
Those 7 schools right there. Those 7 schools would take the $20 billion and destroy the conferences.
Oh yeah.
So if you're not a fan of one of those, which is probably the majority of you, if you're not a fan, if you're a fan of a smaller school, if you're in Indiana, a Miami, maybe not LSU. LSU would probably get included, but the point stands.
Yeah, definitely.
If the money came in the biggest brands, not the best teams, but if they wanted the biggest brands, the 10 big schools would say, fuck you to the rest of the sport and destroy it.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
That's why you shouldn't be a fan of realignment, because what realignment is going to do is destroy your sport eventually, sooner or later. The Vanderbilts will get kicked aside. The Indianas will get kicked aside. I mean, hell, they wanted to throw away the ACC entirely, which is crazy. I know the ACC is not good, but like to do that to a whole conference that has won national titles is ludicrous.
Well, to be fair, the only teams that won a national championship title was, Clemson and
Clemson. But you got to give them credit. Like Clemson was winning national titles. So the idea that Clemson was the same as a American is not right. It's just crazy. Like it's just
believe me, when they won the national championship, when I swear to you, what they would do, Ryan, when they won the national championship, they would put the damn trophy in the middle of Bi-Lo. If you don't know what Bi-Lo is, it's a grocery store. They put this motherfucker in the middle of Bi-Lo so all the fans could just sit there and touch it. Listen, don't you want to touch the title? I said, it is not my title. I don't want to touch it because it's not mine. Because when Georgia won, they legit literally had it. They had this beautiful. It's literally that is area on the outside where you see everything. Like they ring the bell, all that shit. It's really great.
All right, so thank you everybody who's joining us for this inaugural episode of couch coaches.
Couch
I'm gonna have
coaches.
to practice. I'm gonna have to practice that.
We're gonna practice. We're gonna get it right.
One of us is gonna be right when we come back about the national title, and when we come back, we will get to talk about the game. We'll get to discuss what happened, and then we'll be back to talk about the Super Bowl matchup, obviously, and then I'm assuming what the college offseason looks like. Thank you everybody for joining us. Yeah,
And we
Matt.
might. I just want to say, Ryan, we might do something that I saw on the internet. We might do a draft.
Oh, I have an idea for a little sneak preview idea. Drafting the best Super Bowl snacks. What do you want? What do you want to see at a Super Bowl party? Catch that next time. The most generic internet idea. Next time on
Coaches on the
Couch
couch.
Coaches.
Couch coaches.
Damn. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Bye.
My brain struggles with that.